Sitting poses are soothing to the nerves. They refresh the brain, they regulate blood pressure, and can encourage and promote good sleeping patterns. They can induce a calm frame of mind and leave you with a sense of freedom within. Let's get started. Bring yourself into a kneeling position. And if you find that this is uncomfortable, then bring into play a folded blanket or a cushion and place this where you need it most, whether that be under the knees at the front of you or between your buttocks and the heels of your feet. We are going to look at Virasana, hero posture. And this position is very good for helping to regulate the blood pressure. And we are going to look at Virasana regular, forward bend, and backward flexion within. So there's quite a few variations to Virasana. Remember to take it easy on yourself. No force, no overstretching. At no time should there be any discomfort within the position. If there is, it means that you are possibly trying to go too far too soon in the posture. So you should just ease off a little bit. So let's begin in the kneeling position, adjusting and adapting to the posture, and bring our arms into play, whereby we're going to strengthen and tone the muscles and the flesh of the arms. So to begin with, let's link the fingers and invert the hands. Take a nice breath in as you stretch the arms forward and see if you can lock out the elbows, but no judgment on yourself if you can't do this immediately. Allow there to still be a little bit of a bend and just tune into your flow of breath. Check that your shoulders are relaxed, your neck and throat is soft, and your teeth are unclenched. And then let's breathe in and raise the arms above the head. So here's where we really try and stretch up through the arms, and we're creating a stretch and a lift from the armpits to the elbows, and then the elbows to the wrists. And you might find that as your arms come up and your hands come up, your thumbs might pop up and your little fingers. You want to see if you can flatten them down. Again, no force necessary. Take your time. Rise up through the trunk of the body as you breathe in. Think about lifting the skin on the sides, on the back, on the front. Think about pulling up internally, pubis to navel. And really focus on the breath, remembering the breath is your guide. Then we'll bring those hands forward, we'll release, and then we're going to re-grip with the opposite index finger on top. You'll probably find that you go to take the exact same grip again, so give yourself a moment to work it out and just exchange the top index finger, and then exhale, invert the hands, have them in front of you for a breath, just adjusting and adapting to the position. Some of these positions you may never have tried before. It's worth bearing that in mind and being kind to yourself. Then you're going to take a breath in and take those arms up, over, the head, the hands right above the crown of the head. And remember, if you need a little bit of a bend in the elbows here, then do so. You'll find that as you tune into the breath, upon exhalation, where surrender takes place, you'll feel that the arms, the muscles begin to stretch and lengthen. Keep your chin parallel to the mat. Just check that the teeth are slightly parted, at least unclenched. Draw those thumbs down and the little fingers. And check that the shoulders are away from the ears. Sometimes when you lift the arms up, you take the shoulders to do the work, but they should be soft, relaxed and away from the ears. And then release those arms down. You might like to give them a little bit of a shake. Okay, so let's look at moving into the very first stage of Virasana, hero posture. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift our buttocks away from the heels of our feet, and we're going to separate the feet out either side. So they're just widening. You're actually creating space between your feet that your buttocks are going to go down to sit on. Again, remember that you might want to have your folded blanket or a cushion by way of support, because in the first times of practicing you may not have the looseness or flexibility in the knees to allow your buttocks to go right down. So get a lovely big soft cushion there to protect and support to begin with. Now you're going to take the hands onto the calf muscles and turn them outward. The calf muscles are very fleshy and you can make a bit more room by turning them out, and then slowly allowing your buttocks to come down between the feet. You might like to have your folded blanket in front, underneath the knees. That could help support them. Whichever feels best, take the time to adjust and adapt. Take the hands and place them onto the soles of the feet, so that the fingertips are turning to rest along the toes. Rise up through the trunk of the body. Nice deep breaths in and out. And think about the inner thighs rotating outwards, and again just drawing the flesh of the calf muscles outwards so that the shins are fully connected with the mat and the thighs are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then gently bring the hands either side of the knees, lift the buttocks, bring the feet together once again and back into the kneeling position. Again, having a cushion between the buttocks and the heels of the feet, or underneath the knees, or both. And if you really need to come out of the position, stretch the legs forward, even stand up, give the legs a shake, then do so. Okay, so let's now look at Virasana with a forward bend. So let's get ourselves ready, and you might like to have that blanket between your buttocks and the heels of your feet. We're going to take the hands out in front of us, lift our buttocks, separate our feet, grab the fleshy part of our calf muscles, turn them outward to make some room so that you can then sit down in between. And if you have knee injuries, please do go cautiously with this position, and please do use a really plumped up cushion. As soon as you put that there, you'll feel a sense of much more comfort, and when the body feels supported and comfortable, it will let go with greater ease. So what we're going to look to do now is go into a forward bend, and what you look at remembering is that your buttocks need to remain connected with the ground, the cushion or the folded blanket. Let's link our fingers, invert our hands, breathe in, take the arms above the head, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Nice deep breath in, lift and create space, so you're actually lifting the tummy internally, you're lifting the pubis to the navel, it's all zipping up. Even the flesh on the trunk of the body, rise it up around the waist, bring the flesh of the waist up over the rib cage. Exhale, begin to hinge forwards. Take your time, because you'll get to a point, possibly here, where the buttocks might want to rise up because you think, oh, I've got to get right into that forward bend. But it's better to practice here. And if you need to, even just have those hands in front of you and breathe. And then you'll get this sense of awareness of space creating in the torso that you can then drop further forward while still keeping the buttocks connected. Okay, you want to feel grounded in your seat. So take yourself to a point that's comfortable. Have your hands resting out in front of you. If you feel that you can do the forward bend with the hands linked, then continue with that and just take them down towards the mat and relax forward into the position. Your choice. Tune into the breath. Remember, the breath is your guide. Your breath will tell your body as and when it's ready to let go. Unclench the teeth and experience the sense that the mind is soothing and calming as you're surrendering into the posture. And then protect the spine by pulling the tummy in and walk those hands back towards your knees. And then if you feel that you can, place the palms of the hands on the soles of the feet, fingers pointing in the same direction as the toes. And then gently bring the hands forward. Now come up onto the knees nice and slowly, and you might feel that you want to just, one at a time, extend the leg back, and then coming back into a kneeling position. Again, listen to what the body is telling you. If you need to come out of the position fully, do so. You might like to just extend the legs in front of you for these couple of rounds of breath. Give yourself time to acknowledge the posture that you've just been in. And now we'll do Virasana laying back, Supta Virasana. Okay? Once again, hands by the knees, lift the buttocks, separate the feet. Get the fleshy part of the calf muscles and roll them outwards. Gently bringing the buttocks down. Be aware, protect your knees. So place a blanket underneath the knees, a nice folded blanket, maybe a cushion. You might want a nice padded cushion underneath your buttocks. They really are good working tools, and it doesn't mean that you're any less able because of using them. It means that you're being kind to yourself, which is good. So there's levels to Supta Virasana, and you can move to each one in your own time, at your own pace. You don't have to achieve it all today in this session. So let's rise up through the trunk of the body, create space. Let's place our hands on the soles of our feet, and this time we can have the fingers pointing up towards the heels of the feet. And then you're going to drop down onto the right elbow and the left elbow. So this is one level. You might like to take a breath in and just tilt the pelvis a little. Pick the buttocks up slightly, tilt the pelvis. You'll start feeling a full and complete stretch through the thighs. Next level, you can bring the crown of the head to the mat, doming the chest up to the ceiling, unclenching your teeth and letting the breath flow. Really surrender in those legs. Next level, you can bring yourself down onto the back of the head, and do remember that you can come out of the position at any point, coming out with the grace and strength and control that you went in. Just drawing your chin down to your chest, and then the final part, you can link the thumbs, breathe in, raise the hands up and take them over the head to come and rest on the mat. Supta Virasana. Unclench your teeth. Tune into your flow of breath. And draw the essence of the movement and the flow of breath into and out of your body and mind. All is connected. And then to come out, you place the hands back to the soles of the feet. Breathe in, dome the chest and the heart up to the ceiling. Come up onto your elbows. And then coming up fully, hands by the knees in front of you. Breathe in, lift the buttocks, and then bring yourself into a tabletop position, hands and knees, and then one at a time, nice and gently, stretch and extend the legs. You might want to just roll back and forth on the toes. And then bringing yourself back to where we started, in a kneeling posture, or of course if you prefer to just sit on a chair now, or sit cross-legged, or have your legs extended in front of you, fine, whichever is the most comfortable. Taking a moment to reflect. Let's bring the hands to the heart and give thanks for the practice. Draw in the nourishment of the movement into the mind and body. Sometimes it takes just that little while for the information to settle. Stay tuned to your rhythmic flow of breath for the rest of the day ahead. Enjoy. Be grateful for everything you have rather than that which you don't have. And appreciate and acknowledge that yoga is good for you.